Hello.
Hi.
I am just tweeting to say we're live. But while we wait, we do have someone here. Once again, I've not read the book, but I'm here as a supportive friend who maybe also wants to see you cry. I don't think there's much of a maybe there, on my part anyway.
I didn't cry when I read it, and Chloe can confirm because she watched me finish it, basically.
I did. Surprise.
There's a lot of blue near the end. And I'm also really hoping my notes have transferred onto here because my iPad has decided it's going to update. And I'm hoping it did its thing and connected them. Oh, we're good. We're good. I have my notes.
I'm glad someone took notes because I didn't tab or take notes. I just read and cried at the end.
Not cry. Can confirm. I just wanted to come on here for your reactions to the end of the book. This is the book that made Liv DNF this series.
Wow. I mean, I can understand because Liv doesn't like heavy books, does she?
It's not so much that. It was just, I think it was just there was too much happening, and also the ending.
My issue is yes, things are happening, but I don't know why. I'm I don't know where it's going. Things just seem to be happening for no reason, which so that just means I'm constantly stressed.
Yeah. Becca's can't say anything.
I'm I know there is a reason. I know that there is a big plot. What is it?
Oh, I currently know.
In a month.
Oh, I currently
we
know.
discussed Queen of Verità.
Is that it's something to do with the Blackthorns. Blackthorn blood. That's all I know.
Right. What did everyone rate it?
5 fucking teardrops.
I rated it 4.5.
5 streams of tears.
Ask at this point what I've rated it. Every Cassie book has got a 5-star from me. So
really?
And lots and lots of tabs.
But not
lots of tabs.
I feel technically this is a better book than some other Cassandra Clare books that I've given 5 stars to. But I'm not as emotionally invested in these characters as I am in other series. So I feel the nostalgia does help me with the sort of ye olden days ones as opposed to these ones where I'm I met these characters when I was 15, but for 3 pages and they meant nothing to me. Whereas now I care for them. I am invested, but I'm not as invested. So I finished it and I was I don't know if that was a 5, which means it's not.
That's very fair.
I feel for me, my favourite character, out of the whole of this whole situation that we're in, it's still gonna be Will. It's always gonna be Will. But literally, I want to kill anyone that hurts these Blackthorn people. Just stamp them into the ground.
Deserve to be protected at all costs.
They do, and it's the way she writes them that makes you just immediately just want to protect all of them because they have been through some fucking trauma at their such a young age. I'm seriously, these kids need therapy.
I feel especially the older ones, not counting Mark because he was in Fairy for God knows how long. But apart from him, they're all pretty well-adjusted human beings. Considering, Julian needs therapy.
Yeah.
They all need therapy. But I feel Julian's the one that needs therapy the most. And maybe Mark. But, they're not allowed mundane medicine, so,
I kind of feel like Julian could go dark. Wow. I know.
Liv is here. What would you say, sorry, Lisa?
Will is mine. I feel like Julian could go dark because he has that
absolutely.
side to him that was like he would do anything for his family, which would mean like he would go dark for what he thinks is good. So like it kind of gives me like Valentine vibes. Like he could easily just go that way and just think that he's in the right and just do bad shit. Like it's a switch, and I think there's only the reason is it's only his family that are keeping him good. If he was to lose them, he would go dark, and there would be no.
I'm gonna be honest. I have never heard anyone compare him to Valentine before.
I mean, like Valentine thought he was doing. No, Valentine thought he was doing good, and like he was in his head. He was like
a big difference. Whereas Julian would know that he wasn't doing the right thing, and he wouldn't care.
Yeah,
he would just do anything to protect his family, which fair. Okay.
No, I feel he's like way more of a juxtaposition with, what? Malcolm. There we go. I was about to say Magnus. I was like, that's the wrong Warlock. What is his name? Like he's a good sort of narrative foil to, Malcolm in that respect, because Malcolm did anything possible. He didn't care about
maybe that's a better.
And like Julian is sort of there, like he is like like it hurt my family, so I can never forgive it. But like something happened to Emma, like who's to say what I would do?
Okay, let's see what Liv. Okay, yeah, fair. Liv did start.
In relation to what Lisa said, I'm not sure when we're going to go into spoilers, but I need to say it out loud so I don't forget my thought.
Okay, do you know what? We're just going to say this is spoilery. Go for it.
Okay, so I feel like Julian is already very much in the place where he could just like ignore all morals, because he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna break every parabatai bond that exists because I want to be with Emma.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He had that internal thought of like, I know Emma said this is wrong. I don't care. Like, I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm like, babe.
And it feels like the only thing that stopped him from doing it then and there was the fact that he knows Emma would never forgive him. And that's not a good enough reason not to do a bad thing.
No. It's like, but I'm in love with you, and like we could break this and be together. And then she's like, but you would ruin every other. Like, he's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, dude, think, please. Like,
this is why I say he needs therapy.
I'm like, that is not okay.
So yeah, Liv did start Queen of Air and Darkness, and yes, okay, but I feel like mentally Liv checked out at the end of Lord of Shadow because she struggled with what she did read of Queen of Air and Darkness, and then it was just that each day of the buddy read, she was like, I haven't read anything, and then suddenly, I don't think I'm gonna finish this. And it's like, okay. You're doing my favourite book, okay? A little bit. There was too many POVs. See, I love all of the POVs. I like a book with lots of POVs when the POVs are done well. And I personally think the POVs are done well in this, because I want the POVs from like all of them, to be honest. Not just one or two of them, all of them.
Yeah.
Hey, you can have Will. Jem's mine.
No, I want all three of them. Like, I want Will and Jem, please and thank you.
Jem, don't be greedy. And you can live for Will.
It's no one else cares about James, so like, I'm okay.
I love him.
Yeah.
Mark is amazing. See, Mark should have been enough reason for you to carry on, Liv.
Yeah.
Okay, but talking about Mark, can we talk about how in the first live show, I was like, I really think we should have a poly relationship here. And like, excuse me? Christina, everybody, Kieran, like, wild. I was like, this could actually happen for me.
At one point, I was like, did Meg, like, manifest this? Like, and did she retroactively change the story? Because this could be a thing. I was like, Is she
To be fair, if
attracted to
both
Kieran?
Mark and Kieran were flirting with me, I would probably just like be a puddle on the floor.
Yeah.
I love them.
Okay.
I also love Christina.
Christina.
She's amazing.
She's
I love her.
She has so much love for those, and she's not known them that long. She's just such a loyal human being that makes you just.
She's so
fall in love with her.
compassionate. Like her wish was to end the cold peace. Like,
why is she such a fucking great human?
I know.
Like, she's just.
Why couldn't her and Emma have been Parabatai?
Oh, I know. That would have been the best. That would have been so good. Christina deserves an Emma Parabatai because they genuinely just have.
Yeah, but Christina's Parabatai though. Like, I can't remember his name, but perfect.
Oh, Jaime.
Yeah. He showed up. She didn't.
Weird.
She didn't try and kill him on sight, which is, my first thought when I saw his name pop up. I was like, what's this guy doing here?
Yeah, he's dodgy as fucking. I think the whole like using Drew to hide him, and Drew like falling, like getting all like gooey eyed over him, and I was like, oh my god, please.
Yeah, I didn't like the internal monologue of he can't know I'm 13. Like, wasn't my favorite thing.
Yeah,
that was disturbing for me, and I was like, please let this not be a thing. We don't need another situation where something potentially illegal could happen. But thankfully, it was just her crushing on someone that was an older person, which was not fine, but it was kind of like,
it's fine. She didn't try and like,
yeah, I get that.
And like, it's perfectly normal for teenage girls to have crushes.
Yeah. Just not to harbor those people in their bedroom in secret.
Yeah, that was and he kind of, the way that he was being all like cloak and dagger about it, like no one else can know I'm here, just hurt. I initially thought that he was going to do something to Christina or like try and take her away. I still don't understand the secrecy and like when Meg said I'm surprised, she didn't immediately just be like, we fucking hate you, and like just go for him after what she heard.
She left the country to get away from him. Like,
yeah.
She also left the country to get away from Diego, and Diego decided to follow her along with his fiance.
Oh my god, do not! I wanted to yeet the book at this point.
We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Let's finish going through Liv's comments. I need more Mark in my life. I'm glad you continued this because I would have been like, you know what you could do? Read Queen of Air and Darkness, which answers the I just figured it out. Yeah, read Queen of Air and Darkness. I feel like Julian would honestly kill to protect his family in cold blood.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the boy who killed his father's.
I was about to say, he literally killed his dad.
He literally did.
To protect his family.
Oh god.
Hi, gave the book 4 stars. It dipped down a bit from the first book for me. That's why I went from 5 stars to 4. See, for me, this series got better as it went on, and as much as I love Lady Midnight, it's my least. I think it might actually be my least favorite of the newer Cassie books. Oh no, that's not true. No, it's not one of my favorites.
I was gonna say, are you rating it above Chain of Iron and Chain of?
Yeah, I think it did get above the Last Hour series.
Yeah.
But still,
which like I disagree with, but I was like surprised that you would.
I think Emma would sacrifice herself for her loved ones, and Julian would burn the world.
Yes.
They are very opposite in that sense.
Yeah.
The POVs were done well, but I think if they had been different books, I would have been fine, but it was too much in one book. That's fair. I think if it was a shorter book, like if it was even half the size of this, it would have been too much. But because of the sheer size of it and how much information we're getting and how much is going on, it works and it makes sense. And I think as much as I love Emma and Julian, if the entire 699 pages was just those two, I think I would get sick of them.
Yeah.
If there was no Kit and Ty happening, I'd have checked out.
Kit and Ty, Diana, which
God,
we have stuff to talk about.
Cute. I messaged you at that point, didn't I? And I was like, I fucking love her.
You did. She is amazing.
I love her even more.
It's nice to see an adult in this series that's actually a good person, that isn't one that we've seen from a teenager growing up. We've met them as an adult.
Yeah, I like that.
Can I be the fourth person?
I was really hoping that the secret wasn't going to be that there was something that would betray the Blackthorn, because obviously she does so much to try to protect him, and like she mentioned very early on in the Facebook, she had this secret, and she's so secretive about it, and she's very like sort of like cloak. I was like, please do not be betraying them in some way, because I couldn't deal if the Diana that I am really
I remember one of the voice notes during Lady Midnight was, please tell me Diana doesn't play him, but don't tell me. But tell me, but don't tell me. I didn't spoil it for her, but still, that was one of the voices.
I was so scared. So scared.
Also, Liv, I have a question. What poly relationship? Are you talking about Tessa and Will? Mark, Kieran, Christina?
I mean, why not both? But they happen over centuries.
I mean, poly is open, isn't it? So you could just jump between them both.
Thank you for popping in. But, so actually, right, the first note I actually have is nothing to do with the characters in this book. It's the fact that Magnus and Alec have a second son.
Oh, I messaged you on that bit as well, didn't I? Raphael.
Oh, it was this one. Yeah, that bit. It's more happy. Max has a big brother.
Yeah.
Honestly, the cutest thing ever. Although there was actually, where was it? There was a comment somewhere, and I don't know if it was that bit in particular, but it made me cackle, like full on. I don't think it was that bit. Do I have a note on that? I don't know, but it was a comment about them, like Magnus being pregnant or something, and I was just like, this is funny. Like, they can't imagine Magnus being pregnant because they were really confused as to how they've just suddenly got another kid. And yeah, I didn't make a note of that one, which I'm actually sad about because that was funny. But let's talk about Diego and Zara.
Oh God, I fucking hate her.
I need Zara to get her comeuppance.
Zara Dearborn is possibly the worst person, worse than Valentine.
Yeah. I 100% agree. The fact that she
and Valentine was competent. Like, I'm not saying I'm glad that he was competent, but he could get it done. Zara just wandering around doing fuck all, claiming credit, getting a little posse of bullies, and just like running around being a Nazi, basically. I'm like,
with a little fucking cronies and like doing, being there, like, and literally just walking around thinking she is better than everybody else because she's a shadow hunter and they're downworlders, and it's like those people that you see that literally just feed off what everyone else says, doesn't have any of their own independent thoughts, and just spouts out absolute ignorant shit. And I wanted to strangle the woman, and I'm just like, I want her to be dead. Like,
I don't wish death on many characters, but I wish it on her.
I do.
What pissed me off is why, at the end, why did Annabelle have to be given the mortal sword when she was obviously fragile? She answered what her name was. Why couldn't Zara have then been given the mortal sword? And they asked Zara, did you kill him? And she'd have been like, no, I have no idea what happened. I wasn't there.
No.
But this is
and then nothing terrible would have happened.
And the thing is, there was multiple terrible things that happened in that last chapter. Multiple things, which again, I'm trying to put off talking about that because I don't want to cry yet.
Oh
God. But the fact that Diego fully spent the entirety of Lady Midnight with Christina and was all like, here's the thing. I don't care if it's like an arranged marriage or anything. I don't care. I don't care why that is an arranged marriage or the fact it is an arranged marriage, don't go kissing your ex-girlfriend, who, might I add, didn't know you had a fiance. And then your fiance turns up and that's how she finds out you've got a fiance. Like, no. Diego, get in the bit. Diego is not perfect. He is the opposite of perfect. I don't hate him. He's not as bad as other characters like Zara, but
he's competent in his job. Like, as a shadow hunter, is what he is. He's competent in his job. As a human being with basic decency, he's not a good guy. Like,
and obviously at the end, he helps Kieran get out of where he is. So, you know, fair.
What is so special about the Centurions, though? Like, really?
Huh?
What is so special about the Centurions?
They're all wankers, clearly. It's
but
like
John Cartwright.
Oh, John. That was actually my first blue tab.
I was so sad. When they were like, someone has to tell Marisol, I was like, no.
It was literally, oh God, poor Marisol is the next line. And I was like, I don't know. I don't want that. I don't want that.
He went through so much character growth.
He had the best character development in that book. And I was just like, we didn't even get a chance to see him in this. Like, he was in, like, I think he had like one line in Lady Midnight. He said one thing in Lady Midnight, and now he's gone. And I'm sad.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? I don't like it. Can we appreciate Emma getting, I actually made a note of this, Emma getting Diego to stand on the red anthill. Right. Technically, Christina said, don't hurt him. She didn't. The ants did.
That bit was like,
no lasting damage. He'll be fine.
He looked like a good around.
Yeah, but I love how everybody immediately wanted to hurt Diego because he hurt Christina, and everyone was just like, what can we do? Like, what do we need to do to cause him pain because he's hurt someone we care about? And I was like, I want you in my corner all the time. I like friends like that. You can't buy friendship like that. They were just like, what can we do? We need to hurt them.
The friendships in this are just
amazing.
Like, do you know what? Today, my loving books tag went up, and one of them was friend love. I don't actually know why I didn't pick this series. Also, sibling. Why didn't I pick this series? Maybe I just like subconsciously was like, maybe don't keep talking about Cassandra Clare all the time. No, a little bit overrated.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a quote I made a note of on page 105. I don't know if it'll be on 105 in all of your books.
I've got the hardcover, so probably not.
But yours is very similar, I think, to my paperback, so possibly. But it's when they're talking about like the cold piece and that, and they say when a decision like that is made by a government, it emboldens those who are already prejudiced to speak their deepest thoughts of hate. They assume they are simply brave enough to say what everyone thinks. In Zara's mind, I am hated. I am sure her father is part of that group that demands Helen remain imprisoned on Wrangel Island. But it was that like when a decision is made by government, and it literally, this book was written before 2017 because that's when it came out. And nothing has changed. Maybe not as much in the UK. There is a lot of it in the UK. But if you look at America especially, look at everything that's going on with their like laws that are being passed. And it's causing people to be bold and think, oh, well, the law thinks it's the case, so I'm right. And it's just like, Catherine just always has this way of just putting the actual world into her books, and I'm like, please stop, because I just want I don't want the world.
I just want it to be fantasy.
But she's really good at it, and I love it because like it makes you think and actually like see it's actually like that in real life. And it's great.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you did that on purpose, didn't you? Just
Also, I'm looking down because I am looking at my notes, just so you know. I'm not being rude, I promise. Okay, let's talk about something happy. Gwyn having a crush on Diana.
That
Adorable.
the way that he immediately, like, as soon as he saw her, it was just. It reminded me of, you know, like, I know that the fae talking like oldie worldy language anyway, but it just reminded me of, like, in those oldie worldy films, like, fair maiden, I would like to court you. When I was like, going, Wild Hunt aside, that let's just not judge you on that right now. But the fact that he was just like so immediately enamored by her and was just like, I would like to date you. I'd like to call you because. What did he say? Oh, I sent you a message there. He said he wants to go on a hunt or something. And she was like, well, no, I don't want to do that, but you could take me out to a nice restaurant. I was like,
Yeah.
She's just amazing.
I love when he went to visit and she was like, you're not allowed to be here. And he was like, as long as my feet don't touch the ground, it's okay. We can hang out.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they went on the little picnic. Yeah. And I love how, like, we find out about Diana. We find out her big secret. Like, I just
did not expect that. That was.
No.
I love how well that was done.
Yeah.
And, like, the story behind how she became Diana.
Yeah.
Even though it's very sad because she lost her whole family, but she now gets to be who she is and not have to hide. I mean, technically she is still hiding because she can't touch the mortal sword, because then, you know, she'll probably get, like, exiled for, like, using mundane medicine.
God that's the only reason, like that's a bit that, like, angered me. Apart from the way the family treat, like, the family situation, I get, like, that would annoy me as well. Like, that was, but the fact that, like, she chose not to get any changes done by magic, and that she wanted to go through the mundane medicine route. She wanted to go through that change, and she wanted it to be a permanent thing because she didn't want anyone to be able to undo that. I'm like, it makes it not that I know what, like, it's not an own voices thing, but you can imagine that would be how someone would feel. Like,
I mean, it must have gone through sensitivity readers.
Oh
yeah. So you can imagine that, like, it just made me really feel for her that she not only decided to go on this journey, and she could have taken the, like, easier way out, like, do it through magic and magically be like a physical woman as well, but she chose to actually go through the mundane medicine. But then that meant now she can't be the shadow hunter that she wants to be, sort of thing.
The thing is, even if she'd had it done by magic, the Claves still would have found issue with it.
Yeah, they would have done, probably, yeah.
Because it was warlock magic.
Yeah, but the fact that she still did that to make herself happy, and yes, it means that she sacrificed certain parts of her life and there's certain things she can't do that she would love to be able to do. I was sat there just, like, proper wanted to give her a hug. I know it's not real, but I would have just literally ran over and hugged her and just been like, I'm so proud of you.
The fact that she even says that she was prepared not to go back to the Clave. It was only because of the Dark War, which obviously is the end of Sea of Heavenly Fire. It was only because of that she decided to go back. And
she found, like, her purpose and, like, a new family.
And being a tutor to the Blackthorns, like, gave her that whole thing, and how much, like, she loves them, and the fact that she thought Gwyn was just gonna, like, turn his back on her or whatever, and he was just like,
I don't care, I like you.
Yeah, and he was just like, yeah, it's like, you are beautiful, like, and he was just
like, you're the strongest woman I've ever met, and I'm like, Gwyn.
That.
Also, I love how he made the comment about, like, women can't be in the Wild Hunt because they're just too savage.
Yes.
And it's like, that is correct.
We would beat your ass.
But him, like I said, Wild Hunt aside, him being that way for her. I mean, I know that fairies have a different way of viewing life and sexuality and things like that as well. But he could have easily still gone the other way, and you never know what someone's gonna do. So the fact that he was just like, you're a beautiful, strong woman, and I was like, at first, I kind of didn't want this to be a thing, but now, I'm all down for a Gwyn and Diana situation. Honestly, just they're so good.
I'll take a side book. Doesn't have to be a full novel.
Yes,
I'll take a side book with them.
Yeah.
a novella. Just him taking her out on dates and treating her like a lady.
Yeah. We got to see Magnus Vane's life. I want to see Diana and Gwyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see more of Katrina
100%.
Loss as well.
Yes.
Oh yes. Yeah, definitely.
It was amazing. You might get to see more of Katrina, and that's all I'm saying. You might get your wish. This was about like Zara and her little minions. Oh, what's his name?
I've had such a physical reaction to a character. Like since I've every time I saw a name, I went like,
yeah. Well,
I was like,
I was listening to it.
Preparing myself.
Yeah. Every time I heard a name, I was like,
little minion.
Miguel.
That's the one. I hate him too.
Awful man.
Burning passion of hatred for him.
But he's just like
Why would you go marry him? They'd be very happy in their vileness.
Like I do like the fact the whole Christina and Diego thing. She realized that the love she had for him wasn't the same type of love anymore. Because I was really worried that when she found out it was not, it was an arranged thing, that she was gonna forgive him again, and she was gonna go back to perfect Diego and be like, oh, but we can sort this out now. And I was like, especially after she started thinking certain ways about Kieran and Mark again, and I was like, please do not hurt Mark again. Like, he's been through enough, and he's like, he still doesn't fully understand how to properly court a woman, but like he's trying to be open with you.
So much happened in this book though, because I completely forgot about the binding until right this second.
Yes,
in this one book. It didn't start in the other one and then come through. Like it was just an entire plot in this one story.
Also, hi Lottie.
Hi Lottie.
Everything about Diana was so lovely. When she was talking about her transition, it made me cry. I was full on sobbing. That is one of the blue bits. But yeah,
that was so well written, and it's just so good.
But yeah, the binding. They went to Fairy.
They did.
They did.
We made out with a fairy. That was unexpected.
We did, thinking it was Emma.
Yeah, Emma didn't know.
It wasn't Emma.
Yeah.
But I knew as soon as it was like she didn't have Cortana with her. And I'm like, this is not Emma. Dude.
Who should have realised that?
Yeah. She never does not have that sword with her. Like,
which is lucky because it came in real handy.
This is true. Also, this makes me happy, Lottie, that you gave it 5 stars and it's your favourite, because snap. I'm wondering if you'll feel the same about me as Queen of Her Own Darkness, because that is my favourite. Haven't got a long to wait to find out.
Oh god.
So the one of my favourite tropes was in this, when they're in Cornwall and there is one bed.
Mm-hmm.
But also, can we appreciate, she wakes up and she's like, oh no, we're tangled, I need to, and then she just falls off and she's like, oh no, this is not out of bed.
Oh, I was obsessed.
Real subtle, Emma. Real subtle. Yeah. In my head, I know that they should never be made into a film or a series or whatever, but that scene in my head played out in real time, where we were watching her from the thing and she fell out of bed and it was just a whole comedy moment, And where she like jumped, was like, nope, I'm fine. That's how I get out of bed. I was like, I was proper chuckling to myself. I didn't expect to laugh at this book the way that I did in parts.
I feel like so much of this book had like a cinematography element to it, though.
Yeah,
it would look so good visually.
Yeah.
And I just wish they hadn't have burnt me so many times for me to just never want this to come to screen. I don't want them to ruin this like they've ruined everything else.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't want it to be a thing, but it was so many, like Mick said, so many parts would be great to watch. And
Like,
I know
the fairy revel would look so cool. And that just, well, and the entire fairy segment, I imagine, would be like beautiful. But then, like, the
bits at the Shadow Market as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And when Emma and Julian are fighting the Riders of Manon, I would on the cliff.
She killed him.
She killed him.
When he pops up with a crossbow, like, oh, sorry, I should have told you about that. It's like she straight up thought he was dying. Like, she was like, no, on my watch. We go down together.
I just love how everyone is so shocked to find out, wait, Emma killed one? It's like, this is Emma Carstairs. Are you actually shocked?
And it's
like,
Cortana.
Exactly. It's a Carstairs with Cortana. Like, don't be shocked about this.
Okay, one of my favourite little throwaway moments was her finding pictures of my baby. Her middle name is Cordelia. How did I not pick up on this?
I was wondering if you would.
Yeah, I do.
And another little moment was it when Kit was like finding the books in the library and he mentioned like somebody's written in them. I'm like, Will wrote in them. Will wrote all of them.
Get in the room and you can see Jessamine and he's like, what?
That was it.
I just love that so much. I just love that we're still getting Jessamine now because we hate her for most of the infernal devices. And then she redeems herself and then dies. But then we get little snippets of her.
Yes, we also seem to be getting Bridget.
Yeah, we do.
I'm like, have I missed something? Was this explained?
I mean, it wasn't, but I have a theory, but I can't say the theory on live. I'll have to message you separately, Meg.
Okay. I'm like, as long as I've not missed something, because like I feel like I'm up to date in everything that has come out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel I have a vague theory, but again, it's not something that I can say.
Yeah.
But I'm like, did no one else like when this book came out was like Bridget from
the same Bridget
from Infernal Devices?
That Bridget?
Is she really human? Was she turned into something else?
Why is she still a maid? Why is her cooking not improved 1 iota?
I wanted a section of her singing one of her songs. Just to harken back to the Infernal Devices, just to sort of say like this is the same one, and she was just like singing away while she's cooking for you.
Great. But yeah, Kit is just everything. I love Kit. Kit's interactions with Jace at the beginning are just brilliant because, and then like throughout the book, you see him more and more, and you're like, yeah, wow, he's definitely a Herondale. How did no one notice this? And I think, is it Alec that is talking to him at one point, and he's just like, yeah, you're related to Jace.
But the
and
way
it's just
like
so similar. And considering he's never met anyone other than Jace, but he was like this before he met Jace.
Whether was it the ring that Jace gave him, the Herondale ring? And the fact that like it was so awkward when he gave it, but it was like it's a ring. And the one person you didn't expect him to try and form some kind of bond with, it was just like, there you go. And you could, again in my head, I just saw that really awkward scene happening where Jace Jamie Campbell was giving really hoping to give her the ring to, I don't know who would play Kit, but in my head it was just like, there you go. It's like I would just laugh at that. It'd be hilarious, but yeah, I love that.
Also, I've just remembered, I didn't write a note on this, but it's just reminding me, Emma's little heart to heart with Clary, and Clary like telling her about how she said no to marrying Jace and the reason why, and I'm like, no.
I sent you a message. I was like, Becca, what does this mean? Why? This is so early in the book. I can't.
No. I was like, please no. It can't be a thing. Like, she cannot die.
She's 3 minutes too. Like, what? What are you talking about?
No, I don't like this. I don't like this. If Queen of Air and Darkness is the book where this happens, I'm gonna have to yeet something because I don't have a physical book. I'm only gonna have my earphones in, so I'm gonna have to find something that can yeet this. That's not breakable because Clary cannot die. Because that would literally break me. I mean, I know she was annoying in her books, but I love her and Jace as a couple.
I liked her.
She was very annoying.
She was annoying, but she was good annoying. She's like a bearable
I'm going to
annoying.
say what I've said before about Clary. Yes, she was annoying. Yes, she like ran headlong into danger. But you've got to remember, she did not grow up in the Shadowhunter world.
She was also a teenager who had grown up in New York, quite independently.
Yeah.
Bitch did what she wanted.
Yeah.
Yes, let's talk about this.
I messaged you about this as well, didn't I?
Yes. I love how Kit talks about Ty and to Ty.
Yeah.
With just everything. And I completely understand why Livy pulls him to one side. It's like, how long are you going to stay friends with him?
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't want, because Kit is the best thing that's happened to Ty, ever. And I can completely understand Livy being protective because I don't want Ty to be hurt. I love Ty.
Because Ty doesn't. Obviously, you see with his family, but obviously he's close to Livy because they're twins and they do everything together. But you don't see him properly embrace other people the way that he's embraced Kit into his little group. And is it just me, or is there a romantic thing between those two?
Absolutely.
I was thinking that, but I was like, am I just thinking this because I want this to be a thing?
I mean, maybe. That could very much also be it.
I was like,
point out that Kit and Livy kissed.
Yeah, but that was just,
they were both like, It was fine. And then they moved on, and they were like, let's not do that again.
Hardly talked about it, and then there was a one comment where it was like, yeah, cool, okay, that we did it, we don't need to do it again.
Initially when they were when he commented on he was constantly commenting on how blue Ty's eyes are, or how brilliant his eyes are, and then it was on Liv, and I was like, well, maybe him and Liv, possibly be a thing. And then when they kissed and then nothing else is mentioned, I was like, well, I kind of would like them, Kit to be, because then, and then I kind of went, and then they started mentioning Tyler, and I was like, oh, maybe I do want this to
chemistry.
Huh?
I was definitely seeing chemistry.
Well, if I remember rightly, one of Lisa's voice notes to me or comments to me was saying about how Kit and Livy could be together, and then Kit could be Ty's parabatai.
Yeah, I did think that at first.
I think that was pretty early on in the book, though.
Yeah.
That one stuck with me, and I was like...
I was like, Kit and Ty's first meeting was Ty threatening him. That is definitely the start of a Shadowhunter relationship.
I should have twigged that. But then, the fact that...
against the wall with a knife to his throat.
That's hot. What are you talking about?
That is the sort of enemies to lovers I want.
Yeah. Also, one of my favorite interactions in the whole book was when Ty was freaking out and Kit was like, what do you need?
Oh,
I was like,
It's-
it's just
The
like,
fact that
me.
it's the fact that he's the thing is, like, I know that people with autism are different, and not everyone who is autistic doesn't like to be touched, but you could tell that Ty is very much a kind of deal with his own situation person, and the fact that he allowed Kit to be in his space, I was just like,
And the fact that Kit didn't just go and hug him, he was like, "What do you need?" And then when like Ty said like what he needed, Kit was like, "Come here."
yeah,
Right, I understand.
Yeah.
That, like the pressure.
Like, and he was
Okay.
like hard, like tighter, and he was like, "Have him
yeah,
harder."
that again, clearly research was done, and the way that it was written, the whole thing was just like, I love this interaction, and I love how this is like so again, not an all voices thing, but just so well written, and just and the way that he explained it he gave it a name and explained it to Julian. Julian was like, autism, what? And then it was just obviously, it was just the whole thing.
He's grown up in the mundane world. Like, yeah, he's grown up around the shadow market, but he grew up in the mundane world. He knows mundane things, like names for things.
Yeah.
And that there is
But,
like
no,
support that you can get. And he was like, "Oh, sorry, that's mundane medicine. You can't have that." And Julian was like, "I'm gonna bookmark this for later. This is going to be a thing that I look into for sure."
This because they were the first books I saw myself in an autistic character, because Ty is me, and I love that there's so much representation for all different characters in this series. Even if it's in this series alone, there's so much more representation. I think Cassie like started incorporating more rep into the later books, because like there was more support for people. I mean, I know it's still not a lot of support for some people, but it's better than it was when the Mortal Instruments were being written. Because the Mortal Instruments had a bi character.
A gay character.
Oh yeah, a bi character and a gay character. That's it. So it was nice to actually see more rep.
You're not telling me that Izzy isn't a little bit fruity, though.
Oh, Izzy 100% is.
A little bit fruity.
Peaks and waves from cinema before disappearing again. Hope you enjoy the second film. The second one's the one she hadn't seen. Kit and Ty were just perfect. Love their friendship, literally. They're my favourite.
Yeah, friendship. Situationship.
Yeah.
Love.
We talked about Kit and Ty quite a bit there without mentioning the elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room?
You're the twin of Ty. And
No,
how are Kit and Ty going to develop into the next book with that wrench thrown in?
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm no idea what you're talking about. No.
Sorry, I don't recall.
We're forgetting.
I didn't want to assume fruit.
It's because I want it so much. I'm like, I am gonna manifest this happening in the book, and if it happens, it's because I manifested it.
I second Lottie's comment. The life that didn't happen.
No. I can't.
That's fair.
It's just
We don't have to talk about it yet, but we will have to talk about it. We've been here for 50 minutes.
oh my god, we're like not even halfway through the book. Okay, Arthur.
Oh,
Arthur sacrificing himself, like fully, like go through. I'll be behind you, and then like not.
I knew. Why? In every single fucking book of film, I'll be right behind you. You won't be. Just stop lying. And I didn't like him as a character. Like, I know that he had mental health issues and he was broken by when he went to Fairy. I get that.
when he went to Fairy, by psychological and physical torture.
But there was also a lot of him that was very much what he's grown up with the Clave, like with how he treated Ty, especially in Lady Midnight, with trying to make him take his headphones off during the training and things like that's not caused by Fairy. That's caused by the Clave and his upbringing.
Yeah.
But
But the
a lot
fact
of
that
it
he did that
was his torture that he went through.
Yeah, the situation.
That
But
was so
him
bad.
doing that, I was just like, all is forgiven. like you.
And Julian having to watch. That was rude.
Oh, I hate the Sealy Queen so much. So much. Like, there are many reasons why, but that is just one of the very few. I hate her so much. But at least it was Julian, and like she didn't like make one of the others watch it.
Yeah, like Julian is the most equipped to deal with it, but only because he's had to deal with so much. Like my boy needs rest.
He does. And therapy.
And he's not getting it. Like that is not coming for him anytime soon. He's going to be going through some trials and tribulations, I believe.
Oh.
Chloe just still lurking just to see us cry. We're not talking about the thing yet. I was quite surprised by Sacrifice. It shows he really did care about the kids.
Yeah, but I think it also showed like a lot of self-awareness in the fact that he knew he wasn't taking care of them, that like Julian was still around, and that was that was all he could do.
I think it was once he realised he wasn't going to get the medicine from Malcolm anymore. He realised just how much Julian has been doing for him.
Yeah.
Speaking of Malcolm, Annabelle killed me.
That shocked me.
I was shocked.
Because it wasn't Zara.
No, it wasn't.
Look at my chorus. I was. When she woke up, I was like, there's going to be this reunion and they're both going to go on this fucking tirade together and, you know, like, they're going to whatever. And then it was like, no, oh, he's dead.
And then we find out about 100 pages later, she has been awake for 5 years and has been in agony for 5 years. So whilst, yes, she is, also kind of understand why. She's gone through 5 years of torture and pain without Malcolm even realising it, because he messed up the first time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, good on her.
I'd kill him too if he did that to me, not gonna lie.
Yeah. I was just fully like, I really felt for her. Like, even though she does things, but that's not her fault, she panicked. I'm still, at the moment, on Annabelle's side. Because, like, pain.
At the moment doesn't sound promising.
No, like, at this point,
okay,
we've just found out she's in agony.
Yeah.
And then she does nothing at the end of the book, and I'm not on her side anymore.
No, I mean, like, I can understand from her perspective why she would mistrust people. Obviously, you know, people that tortured her and, you know, killed her, and she has a lot of trust issues. A lot of people have betrayed her, and I get it. I do. And then obviously, what it must do to you to be awake for 5 years and not being able to move and being so again send you a bit off the rails. But like, before
she died, she was tortured by her family, and then she dies, and who knows where she was, if she was in a happy place, if she was just like nowhere, and then suddenly she's brought back and has to suffer 5 years trapped inside her mind, torture and pain. I can completely understand that would mess you up a lot.
I'm honestly surprised she's not more mad. Like, actually being honest.
Yeah.
Right? But like, yeah, she was suffering, but still mad.
Yeah.
But like, she was still like sort of coherent. She had like, you understood her more, but she was like, no one else can have this book because no one else deserves what has happened to me. No one can do anything.
She knows
like
the calls.
Yeah, she was like, okay, so I suffered. No one else is gonna. This is mine now. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, and I completely get that. I respect her for that. Because I also wouldn't want to give up that book if I'd gone through what she'd gone through because of the book.
Yeah.
When they was in the like little cottage, which adorable, I would love to stay in that cottage. And they're reading Malcolm's diaries and seeing how he fell in love with Annabelle, and
that
like
was poetic.
it was. I can see why she fell in love with him.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt a little bit sorry for Malcolm. Like, he went through stuff, you know. I get it.
Yeah.
Still a little bit over the top, his reaction. Just a tad. But I can see why he had the reaction, because as well as like losing the love of his life, he also had to go through like years and years of just being hated because of who he is. Like, I'm like, I get it. But then there's also people like Magnus, who also was hated for most of his life. Not a psycho who wants to kill children just because they're related to people who hurt the love of his life years ago. Like, that dude has had issues.
I'm glad he's dead now. Like, dead.
But like, as a villain, I do think he is quite sympathetic. Like,
yeah,
you can see that he's very much descended into madness at this point. Well, like, he's dead now, but like at the beginning of the book, he was like crazy. When he showed up alive, I was like, excuse me, we dealt with you. Like,
the voice made me cringe.
The main rule: if there's no body, they're not dead.
But yes, however, I was like, okay, he's dead now. And then he was like, not, but he was also not okay. And I was like, okay, you're not like this. The way this is going, this is not well.
The voice that the narrator did for him was just like the creepiest. Gave me shivers down my spine. I hated it, but in the best way, because it was proper villain voice, and I was like,
it's James Marsden. Oh.
Do you think his accent choice for Annabelle was odd?
Yeah, I really liked his accent choice for Kieran because he sounded a bit like Spike.
Yeah.
And
but
that was
Annabelle did not sound like she was from Cornwall.
No, she sounded slightly Welsh.
Ireland.
Yeah.
All right. I thought she sounded like slightly Irish at times and slightly Welsh at other times.
There was a definitely sort of like Gaelic vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The accent that was not Cornish.
Yeah.
It was a choice.
I'm trying to think, because I know they run the Cornwall Institute, but were they actually from Cornwall?
I don't know.
Did they? I can't remember.
I feel like they spent a lot of time in Idris, and again, the accent doesn't follow for me to be. And it wasn't. It was just something I'd like thought as I was listening. I was like, "Where's she from? What is happening?"
James Masters was incredible. He is great. He is perfect. Do you know what? I can't remember the context behind the quote I put for this one. It's a funny one, but I can't remember the context, so I feel like I need to find the context first. So Kieran introduces himself to Kit as I'm Mark's lover, and Kit's just like, as far as he was concerned, Kieran had just said, "Hello, I have sex with Mark Blackthorne. What about you?" I just love him so much.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
That's also my internal monologue though. Like whenever I hear the Taylor Swift song, I'm just like, babe, did you really have to phrase it like that? Like, he's my guy I sleep with. I'm like, okay, that's fine, I guess.
But the fact that like for the first part of this book, Kit just wanted to get away. Which is five things that you could steal to get away. And I was just like, dude, every time you attempt this, something happens whereby you don't end up going. Is this not a sign that this is where you belong?
But also, can we appreciate the fact he wasn't going to get a rune, and then like he jokes around with Livy and Ty thinks he's the so he gets the rune.
Yeah. I messaged you at that bit as well, didn't I? And I was like, part was so cute. He sees Ty's face when he in like he shouldn't have put the thing back, and like it's like, oh, you can just imagine Ty thinking, oh, fucked up again, I didn't get the joke, and he's like, no, go on, and I'm like, oh.
I love them.
Yeah.
So much. My next note, I couldn't remember what the context was. A lot of my notes are just without context and the page number, and I have to look. It's Julian is an us.
Oh,
and
it is.
Do you know what the context is? Emma's like, you're angry that Mark and I broke up, and he's like, I guess you've done 2 of their brothers, if we're really counting. Who's next? Ty.
I was furious.
I was like, Julian, we're gonna have issues. But the fact that she just says, screw you, Julian Blackthorne, and then walks away, like, yes.
Yeah, because like I knew exactly where Julian was coming from. Like, he was hurt, and he was like, the only reason that I could pretend I wasn't hurt was because it was Mark, because like you were dating Mark, and I could get over that. And then she wasn't anymore, and he was like, for fuck's sake, what is my excuse now? And he was floundering. Like, I understood. However, that was below the belt.
It was.
That was not okay.
They have that whole conversation later on after they've, and everything about how they're like, it had to, like, he understands that it had to be Mark. But I appreciate that she told him that Mark did not know the reason. He knew it was fake, so he knew that, like, so like Julian knows Emma wasn't
Cameron,
huh?
He thought it was about Cameron. He was like,
yeah,
she needed to be dating someone, so you couldn't date Cameron because it would hurt him.
Yeah. So like, I like the fact that they talked. There was communication there, and like Julian didn't go thinking that like she'd led Mark on and then broke Mark's heart. Like, she knows that Mark knew all along it was a fake dating situation.
Yeah.
I
really didn't like that though. I'm glad it didn't last long. I'm glad it wasn't.
Yeah, that's not the sort of fake dating I want.
No, but I also need Mark and Emma's friendship to like go back to being like they can just sleep in the same room and like chat and be best friends, because Mark needs friends.
He does. He really does. Like, that poor boy, man. Been through so much, and he's still going through
like Emma and Julian communication we had. Like, they really did like talk through a whole lot of stuff. They were like, right,
yeah,
we're gonna.
Can we just appreciate as well? There was another walking in on somebody scene.
That's one of my Magnus walking in on Emma and Julian and knowing instantly what's been happening, and he's just like, oh, Parameter.
Magnus is ill.
What's wrong with him? Don't tell me, but seriously, what the fuck?
I did not see that coming. I'm like, what do you mean Magnus's magic is like not as...
The thing is, yeah, if he does like loads and loads and loads of magic, like, it's going to drain him. But he was doing like not much magic and being drained more than when he's done like, I mean, we've read more instruments, we've read Infernal Devices, we've read not Ghost of the Shadow Market, Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy, and we've read Bane Chronicles. There are many points where he uses a lot more magic than that, and he is getting older, but not that much considering he's like many hundreds of years old.
Yeah, and also most magical creatures get more powerful as they get older, not less.
I'm worried
that
it has something to do with the Parvati thing.
Okay. Oh, I'm worried it has something to do with the Unseelie King messing up like everything.
Just gonna keep my voice the same for both theories.
But the thing is, because they said it was a curse, and obviously it would send them mad. But like her magic, her like runes worked stronger. Like a rune that shouldn't have saved him in the first book, didn't it? Like, so something's happening with her runes, and I think the reason she was able to kill was it Manon?
Ryder and Manon.
Yeah, Ryder and Manon. I think the reason she was able to kill him is because something's been done to her as a result of them being together. Like something in like that's why her runes saved him when it shouldn't. I think something's happening to her. Like
I just thought she was bored, and that was why that happened. And the runes are because
maybe it was. Maybe I'm reading into it. Maybe I'm just being like.
Yeah, I don't know how them being in love with each other would hurt Magnus's magic, because like he's not really been around them much until this point, and Alex said it had been happening for a while.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know.
I would much prefer the live show for Queen of Her Own Darkness, where I don't have to sit here saying nothing.
I do have another theory that has nothing. It needs to come up later because we've not talked about it yet.
Okay.
But I have like thoughts.
He better not die.
If he dies, I'm never reading another Cassandra Clare book.
Yes, please don't hurt Magnus. The really funny thing is, there's no way for yous to be spoiled by this, because all the other books that have come out after that Magnus is in are set before this series. So there's no way of you knowing.
And I've been so good and not spoiled myself for who the Wicked Powers is supposed to be about.
Have you not? Oh, I'm so happy for you, because we're going to discuss that when we've finished reading Queen of Her Own Darkness.
Well, because I was like, I have no idea who's going to make it out of these books alive. And you were like, it's a spoiler. So I was like, okay, I won't look into it.
Yeah, please don't look into anything. If you have any questions that would maybe not be non-spoilery answers, then ask me. Don't Google, because I once, for a different series, Googled something. I'm just going to say the person. I was Googling about Rowan from the Throne of Glass series, because I was curious about a backstory thing, and spoiled something completely from like book 6, and I was like, why have I done this? So I'm very much ask someone you know knows the books. Don't Google.
I'm just like trying not to be curious, because the more I think about it, the more I'm going to want to Google, and I don't care about spoilers. So like I could spoil myself and not ruin the experience. But also I feel like it's going to be more fun to just like go along for the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus I want to see your reactions when you read certain things as well. Like, I cannot wait for those voice notes when you two are reading Queen of Her Own Darkness. Like, honestly, so happy.
Well, I think I'm going to still be reading it while I'm in London for your birthday.
Oh, no.
I'm keeping stum, but Becky, you deserve a gold medal for not giving anything away. It is so hard sometimes. Part of me is regretting the decision to do this read along when I've read all the books. But it's fine. Yeah. It's fine. All will be revealed. See, here's the thing. It was supposed to come out. The first book was supposed to come out in 2023. That's not happening. We have no idea, because
Cassie is on hiatus.
Cassie is now on hiatus. I mean, she could have finished the Eldest Curses trilogy and then gone hiatus, but we won't talk about that. At least she finished the Last Hours trilogy before the hiatus.
Oh my god, I would have hurt somebody.
But yeah, so we don't actually have a release date, because I am guessing when she's back from hiatus, she's going to do the third Eldest Curses book and then start maybe the second book in the Sword Catcher series, which is the non-Shadowhunters book, and then she'll go on to the Wicked Powers. I mean, part of me hopes she's already started working on the Wicked Powers and it can come out sooner, because I would very much like that. But I'm not holding my breath. I'm gonna leave that bit. This is just like a little comment that made me laugh. I think it's when they're in Fairy, and it's just sexy thoughts river to the sea of perversion. That's it. That's the line. But it made me laugh.
There are so many just like fun random throwaway lines in this that like I laughed out loud.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know this book makes people cry. I'm like giggling.
The bit that made my heart happy was just Kit, because where the Blackthorns were was his home now.
I think I took a picture of the pages. I didn't delete it.
And I'm just, my heart. Also, let's talk about the fact that Kieran killed Eric to protect Christina.
I think I was like, oh, Kieran likes Christina.
I'm so
And then he had
very
to-
wrong with this book.
Then he had to rush her back to the institute because, you know, she'd been away from Mark for too long and they still had the binding thing on them.
Yeah.
Kieran finding out that he'd, you know, inadvertently caused Julian and Emma to be whipped, and then being like, Mark, how could you not tell me this? Would you have ever have told me? And then, like, none of that being resolved properly.
Like, they shouldn't have lied to him.
They shouldn't. I can understand why they did.
I do understand why they did.
I need that to be resolved almost immediately in book 3, and it's not going to be because Cassie doesn't do that.
That's like a 700 and something page book. There is so much.
Yeah.
I took a picture of a page and highlighted, what is it? Yeah, if you make Livia laugh, you get double points. I added from the hallway. Well, in that case, Kit started after what was it Jason said after all? Herondales couldn't resist the challenge. I was like, he referred to himself as a Herondale.
Like, he fully took on that name fully in this book. I was like,
I love this so much.
Like, I also feel like I missed the part where Jace took it on. I'm like, last time I checked, he thought he was like a Lightwood. That's the name he chose. Where's all this Herondale pride coming from? Did he just have a couple of chats with Jem and was like, actually, that Will guy sounds cool. I'm gonna keep it.
Well,
I feel like
it's
it's
cool.
more like he's obviously had some interactions with Tessa.
Yeah.
Because like
I want to see those, because we went from him being like, oh, the name Lightwood works for me, because they had that whole conversation at the end of City Glass with Clary, and we were like, yeah, Jace Lightwood makes sense. And then we all collectively fell in love with the rest of the Herondales. And we're like, bitch, we need a Herondale. Like,
even though we went through 6 books knowing him as Jace Lightwood doesn't sound right anymore.
Nope.
Like, I never think of him as a Lightwood.
But like, in their canon,
how weird is that?
Like, he like, that's how he described himself. He was like, they're my family. So I'm like, okay, when did this change?
I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Lottie, but I think it is going to. And it breaks Cassie 100% deserves a break. Even if, as much as it would break me, if she goes on a 5-year break, she deserves more than that. Like, she's just been throwing these books out year after year after year. And it's just like, she needs a break. Let that woman rest. Kira, Mark, and Christine.
The thruple.
Yeah, I manifested this from book 1, guys. Like, I did it. It was all me.
It's all Meg.
I'm very much avoiding certain comments because they will lead into conversations about the last chapter, and I'm not ready for that yet. So I'm literally picking every comment that doesn't lead into the last chapter to leave that till last. Drew feeling like she's not part of the family broke me. I literally just wanted to like wrap her up and like. I just
one of my issues this book was that Julian was off doing things for so much of it and not spending time with his siblings, that like we didn't have him holding the family together in the same way, so we didn't get them all interacting with one another, and I missed that. Like,
you hardly saw Tavi, because I mean, granted, then Tavi went off with Alec and their kids, which, yes, correct, keep the children out of this. Tavi has been through enough. He's like 7 and he's been through too much already, so stop it.
Oh, but he was so sad to leave Julian. That hurt me.
Yeah. But then, like, Drew is doing her own thing. Livy and Ty are off doing their own thing. And then Julian's off. And then Mark's like, what do I do? And, like, when Julian's saying about keeping, like, staying with the kids, and he's like, but last time I didn't do very well. And it's like, gonna do great. Don't worry. Yeah. It's just like, my heart. Oh, I feel like this is it now. We've got to talk about it. Okay.
No.
So there was something that happens a bit earlier on in the book where Livy gets hurt in the shadow market, and I got a voice note from Meg saying, why do I feel like this is foreshadowing and something is going to happen to Livy? And when I tell you, I had to message Ash because she's read these books, and I had to message her. I was like, Meg's going to hate me a little bit.
Did I message you when Livy got injured in the shadow market?
Huh?
Did I message you when Livy got injured?
I think so, and I think it was like, no, Livy needs to be okay, and I was just like, oh my god, they're both gonna hate me.
Yeah.
It's like this, just like I couldn't even bring myself to say, don't worry, Livy will be fine, because it's not true. Because he is, and then she's not. But it's just a very bittersweet moment that all of the Blackthorns got to be together one last time because Helen was there.
Yeah. Rude.
Helen, welcome back. Watch your sister die.
The first time I read this book, the moment they were all together, I was like, one of them's going to die.
I spent this whole book being like, one of the twins is going to die, because that would be the saddest thing to happen. Because if one of the twins dies, that's going to be devastating for one, the other twin, and two, the rest of the family. So, like, that's the saddest thing. And I was like, which would I be sadder at? And I was like, I'd be sadder if Ty died, because I love Ty, and I need Ty and Kit. Then I was like, oh, but wait, Ty will have to react to Livy dying, and I don't want that.
He's not going to understand, is he? He's going to...
But
the worst part is it had to be one of the twins. It can't be Mark or Julian. Their plots are still so open. It couldn't be Drew, because I love Drew, but she's not been present enough to be a character that is going to hit hard.
But she's only just been given like a plot thread as well, with like the weird devices in Jaime. And Tabby's already been threatened and survived. So like in a previous book, which was important because Livy got hurt, and I was just like, oh, this is a red herring. She's going to be fine now. I'm not later. Look.
Before we went on the sprint where Meg finished the book, she had this conversation about which one would die.
I did. I was like, it's going to be a twin.
It's and Andy and Tori had told me what happened, so I just
didn't know how she was going to die though. Did not twig.
Huh?
I didn't know how she was going to die. I really thought the Riders of Manon was going to be the thing that got her. When they showed up, I was like, oh, here it comes. And then it didn't. And I was like...
I thought the big bad, I thought the big, like, epic end to the thing was going to be something like they thought that everything was going well in the trial thing, and that, like, Zara or her dad was going to do something to, like, totally ruin it and, like, arrest all the downloads, or that it was going to go in their favor with the whole like registration thing, and then they were going to like take all the downloaders away when and obviously then Magnus was ill and he was going to get taken away when he was ill, and then something was going to happen to him. And I thought that was going to be the thing, was that it was going to go towards a fucking Nazi fucking Shadowhunter people, and that they were going to take over, and like I didn't Do
you know what my thing is that obviously Alec had to go to Magnus, and we all don't like Robert Lightwood. However, we all very much love Alec Lightwood, and he was just starting to get a good like relationship with his dad, and now it's gone. Like, I sob when she kills Robert, but it is very much because my brain instantly goes, oh my god, Alec is in a different room.
Yeah.
Like,
my brain was like, oh shit, he's the only one who knows that Emma and Julian asked for like nice exile.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck. I forgot now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like, leave it with me. I'm like, well.
Shouldn't have said that.
Oh no.
Leave it with me. I'll take it to my grave, literally. But then it was Livy was the one that got me most.
You know what? You know what got me? Livia. Julian's voice was cracking and tumbling over itself like a wave.
No.
Livy, my baby, please, sweetheart, open your eyes. It's Jules. I'm here for you. I'm always here for you. Please, please.
No.
The last spoken words of that book.
I bet you're really excited to start the next one, aren't you?
Oh.
No.
Oh, I've never wanted to start a book less and wanted to know how it ends more.
Can I just point out the first time I read this, I had to wait 1.5 years for Queen of Fair and Darkness.
Oh,
Because I read Long Shadows when it came out. Cassie does have a thing about killing children. She kills Max.
yeah, which is also in my brain why it couldn't have been Tabby, because she already did that with Max and she doesn't like to really repeat the same like plot.
And I know Livy is still a child, but she's like, in the eyes of the Clave, she's almost old enough to be going out on patrol and stuff. So, you know, because I'm pretty sure they start going out on patrols and stuff when they're like 16. So she was almost there.
Yeah.
Not quite though.
Yeah, still but not like she wasn't in single digits.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to read this even more because I forgot about the exile shit.
Yeah. But on that note, we need to talk about the whole that the Shadowhunter tools aren't working in Fairy, and there is a blight near Alicante.
Where are Clary and Jace? What is their super secret fairy mission?
Yeah, where are they? I don't know.
She's gonna fucking die, guys. Everything's gonna go to shit. Everything's gonna go to shit. Julian and Emma are gonna get exiled badly, and they're gonna. And like Ty's gonna break down because he just fucking lost his life. Well, half of his.
Okay, well, so I don't think that's what's gonna happen. My theory is that a lot of this book has been focused on necromancy. And Ty, very logical. Maybe he's like, hey, you see that super terrible black book over there that can raise people from the dead? I can't live without my twin sister. I think him and Julian very similar in the fact that they would do anything to get what they wanted.
But Kit is Kit can see spirits, can't he?
He's a Herondale, of course he can.
So
and Livy did die traumatically.
No.
But also, we all know when has raising someone from the dead ended well. We all know from like history of things like this happening that when people get raised from the dead, when they're dead, and they get like they don't come back as fully themselves. So if she did come back,
saying I think it's going to be successful or go well. I'm saying I think that's Ty's plan. Like I don't think we're going to get a successful resurrection of Livy in Queen of Fair and Darkness. Okay, I don't think that's what's coming. I think Ty is going to break himself trying to make it happen.
Oh no!
And
because he's got such a logical brain as well, now that you've put that in my head, I could just see him trying to explain to people and justify how he thinks it's going to work in his brain because he'll have thought it through. And I don't even know.
Like, I'm like writing this book in my head, like just waiting until I can start it. Basically, I don't think he's going to talk about it. He might talk about it to Kit because they've like got a bond now or whatever. But I think he's going to isolate himself, and they're going to think he's grieving, and he's not. He's going to be plotting, whilst Julian is trying to deal with the rest of his family being devastated. The Clave is going to be in uproar, because there's no Inquisitor. There's a blight. There's a lot going on, so Julian's going to be distracted.
I saw this comment come through, and literally, because no matter what reaction I put on my face, if I'm like, you're going to think you're right, and if I'm like, you're going to think you're wrong, so I'm just like, no reaction. Just listen to what you're saying.
I don't like Lottie's comment. No, Lottie, it's a no.
I don't think it's necessarily Blackthorn blood for every resurrection. I think maybe just if you're trying to resurrect Blackthorn, so I think maybe he might use his own. I don't know, because obviously the necromantic book doesn't actually exist, so I've not read the very specific spell that is required to raise a dead person.
Do you know what Cassie needs to do? If once all the books are out and the series is done and she wants to still like write, I want all of the books. We've had the Shadowhunter Codex. I want the rest of the books. I want all of them. I want the Black Volume of the Dead. I want the Lost Book of the White, Red Scrolls of Magic. I want them all as books.
I want a book of Will's poems and like things.
Yes.
Literally,
Cassie could literally make money for the rest of her and her rest of her life. Literally.
Yeah.
Also, I missed this comment, but yes, the waiting between books has been torture. Like,
which, like, I can confirm because this is the only series that I didn't really read as it came out.
Yeah.
So the rest of them, I had to wait for all of them. And can confirm the wait between Chain of Iron and Chain of Thorns that got pushed back twice. Not my favorite time.
I don't
know. Me and Meg meeting in person. We just had a full-on like, I don't want to wait until November for Chain of Thorns, and then it got pushed back to January, and it was like, you've got to be kidding me.
I was like, oh, what a nice little birthday treat. No.
Nope. But yeah, so I don't think I have any other comments other than my heart hurts.
I'm not ready. I don't want to read it now. It's just a duology, guys. It's just a duology. It ends there. Thank you very much for your time. We're going to move on to Ghost of the Shadowbanger.
Want it to end there?
Absolutely not.
Because I don't want to go.
This last chapter was the most emotion Julian has shown to anyone who was not Emma, and I'm like not excited to see any kind of that level of emotion continue because it hurt me.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay. So, in my mind, it ended in a happily ever after, and Livy didn't die.
We just like backtrack to the beginning of the trial and just be like, right, okay, so we confirm this is Annabelle Blackthorne. Zara, the sword is now yours. And then everything is fine and happy and Helen gets to go home.
Yes, Helen and the Blackthorns live happily ever after. And then they find a way to break the Parvati bond without breaking everybody else's bond and, hurting thousands of people. And then Julian and Emma live their happy life as a couple, like raising the Blackthorn kids until they're old enough to go out and venture by themselves. It's all fine, fucky, and fresh and fabulous, guys. You're welcome.
I'm excited to start it. I need to know.
I don't need to know.
I desperately need to know.
I think I might have a bit of a head start and get over with the emotional damage a bit sooner, because the thing is, this isn't even a spoiler. If you know how this ends, you know that book is going to be emotional damage because it's going to have to address Livy.
How many books have I got left? Oh bollocks. I have look, I've still got this Savage Song to finish and Our Dark Duet to read, and I have an hour and a half left of this Savage Song, so I know that torture's coming soon.
What?
This Savage Song isn't that sad. Our Dark Duet.
This Savage Song.
I spoiled myself for one thing that happens, and I already know that when that does happen, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. See, this song only made me like, it didn't make me sob. It made me like tear up, but it didn't make me sob. But I don't know if that was more because I've read the sequel before. And like with this, I actually started crying sooner in this than I usually do because I knew what was coming. And I was like fully like, when they're talking to Robert about the exile, wanting to be exiled and everything. I started crying then. And I was like, why am I crying now? Nothing has happened.
Yeah, that was me at Hades Town crying at like the wedding song because like I know that doesn't end well for them. And how sad to see them so happy right now to have it all taken away.
So I've got this Savage Song to finish, and then I've got Our Dark Duet, Jade Legacy, Dark Dawn, and Queen of Air and Darkness to read this month. I think I'm going to split some of those books up and read Red, White, and Royal Blue in between two of them. Like read two Red, White, and Royal Blue, then read another two. And maybe The Exorcist, break up with some graphic novels, because I feel like I'm going to be dehydrated. I'm not ready for Queen of Air. I think I'm going to put Queen of Air and Darkness off, but also I don't, because I know the back end of the month I'm with you again, Becca. So I'll need to. I don't know whether to wait or not. I don't know. I'm stressing.
I feel like you need to just rip it off like a band-aid. Yeah, you can start Queen of Air and Darkness now because the live show is happening.
I suck at taking notes though, so I sat down for this live show today and was like, "What happened in this book?" Many things happened, and I remembered as we went through. But I feel like if I had notes written down, with like my actual thoughts, but because I was like listening and reading, at different intervals, there was no like set time to it. So I'll be better for next time.
I think I'm gonna get a notebook, and because I'll be just listening to this one, because I don't have a physical copy, and I'm not gonna go out and buy one just to get the special edition the back end of the year. I'm gonna write some notes through the tears.
Lisa.
I know it's 10 days before the live show though, and so as long as I do it at least 10 days before the live show that's already scheduled, thanks to the organisation of Becca, then I know I can do it. I can do it. I'm okay.
That's my prompt not how to listen. The thing is, I would have lent you my copy, but I only have 2 copies of Queen of Air and Darkness. One is my Rune edition, which no one else is reading, and the other one is my paperback, which I'm gonna need so that I can tap.
It's fine. No, I'll just wait for the Waterstones. It's fine. I've got it on audio. It's okay.
I said more than 10 if you have multiple live shows at the same time.
Look. You just want to hear me go through pain, and it's just rude, Chloe. Just rude. I'm gonna cry.
The ebook is on Scribd. I don't know if that helps you at all.
Oh, for Queen of Air and Darkness. Oh, that might help you with like if you want to make notes of any quotes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I can generally speed it up as well, so I can like listen to it quicker if I'm reading. But like, still be able to.
No, I'm stressing because I know that I'm going to cry at this book and at least one other book this month, and I don't want to feel the pain. So that's what's stressing me out. Not that I've got so many books to read, because it's fine.
Just get it over and done with. You can do it.
I've already cried so much this weekend. I don't want to fucking.
Oh God. But yeah, I think we're gonna leave it there. Have I already forgotten the date for the live show? Yeah, and I haven't written it in yet. The live show, huh?
Is it the 5th of April? I want to say.
I think it might be. Do you know what? We have a group chat where I can check this. It is?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so clever.
It will be at 7:30 BST, because we'll be in BST by that point. But it is scheduled, friends. It's scheduled. I just have to tweet about it, but there's no point tweeting about it right now because that is a whole month away.
It's scheduled, gentle friends.
Woo. But yeah. I'm looking forward to next month where I can like not have as much of a poker face. There's still some things I'm gonna have to keep quiet about, but for the most part, I can talk next month and share thoughts.
I'm so intrigued to know what happens in this book. I've got like no idea what like the whole like plot with the Seelie King, how that's gonna like pan out. Like,
I love how you've both got very different theories for things though, and I'm really excited for you to both find out if you're right or wrong. Like,
I'm not excited at all.
I am. Because as hard as it is keeping like a poker face, like when you eventually read them and I get the voice notes, I live for that.
Oh God, I'm gonna cry so much. I'm not ready.
I feel like I will also cry at this one.
Huh?
I feel like I will also cry at this one.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. I'm really
People
not ready.
reacting to sad things always gets to me.
Oh.
Sometimes it's worse than the actual thing happening.
Absolutely.
Yeah. On that note, on that really, really happy note,
I'm not ready.
thank you everyone for joining. And we'll see you on the 5th of April for the Queen of Air and Darkness live show.
Bye.